The camera flashes are like 1,000 tiny suns exploding in my face. They're relentless, a popping, searing white that blinds the audience but can't touch me. I float here in the cold, dead air above the stage, unseen. Down there, my sister, Elena, preens. She clutches the heavy, geometric crystal of the James Beard Award to her chest, tears streaming down her perfect face. They call it the Oscar of the food world, and she's just won it for my mole. This recipe, she says, her voice trembling with practiced emotion, it's more than just food. It's my heritage. It's a connection to my abuela, a secret passed down through generations, a secret I've worked tirelessly to perfect to make my own. A wave of nausea, potent even in my spectral form, rolls through me. The metallic taste of betrayal, sharp and coppery as blood, floods my mouth. My ghostly fingers clench into fists, a useless gesture. The rage is a physical thing, a fire that licks at the edges of my translucent form, making the air around me shimmer. Her heritage? Her secret? I spent 3 years in the cramped, damp basement of our family home, surrounded by humming freezers and the earthy smell of dried chiles, perfecting that mole. I was the one who charred the tomatoes until they blistered and wept. I was the one who ground the spices by hand, the rhythmic scrape of the molcajete a constant prayer. I was the one who discovered that the true secret, the ingredient that elevated it from merely good to sublime, wasn't some rare chocolate or exotic nut. It was a whisper from one of Abuela's old, forgotten journals, a whisper Elena never heard. I perfected that recipe a week before the car accident. The one that turned me into this drifting, powerless spectator. The one that left Elena with my notebooks, my journals, my life's work. Now she stands in the spotlight that should have been mine, accepting an award for a dream she didn't dream. She's telling them about her culinary journey, her struggles, her vision. It's all my words, my story, repackaged in her more palatable, more charming shell. She was always the pretty one, the one people were drawn to. I was just the quiet, intense one in the kitchen. As she smiles for the cameras, a soft glow materializes in front of me, hovering in the air. It's a clock, ethereal and pulsing with a soft crimson light. The numbers burn bright. 23 hours, 59 minutes, and 57 seconds. The reincarnation window, my one chance. A cosmic rule I somehow understood the moment my spirit was ripped from my body. I had a choice, move on or go back. Until now, I hadn't known what to do. But seeing her up there, my legacy in her hands, my name a forgotten footnote in my own life story, the choice is painfully clear. 24 hours, that's all I have. The cosmic timer glows a deeper red, a silent, screaming ultimatum. In one day, that window will slam shut forever. I will either fade into whatever comes next, a ghost with a grievance, or I will go back. I will reclaim my culinary legacy, my restaurant, my life. I will stop her from building an empire on the foundation of my stolen dreams. I look at Elena, her face alight with a victory she didn't earn. The rage solidifies within me, no longer a hot, chaotic fire, but a cold, dense star of purpose. The timer ticks down 23 hours, 58 minutes, and 42 seconds. I close my spectral eyes and make my choice. I'm not done. I'm not letting her win. Not again. I'm coming back. The world slams into me with the force of a physical blow. One moment I am ethereal rage. The next I am flesh and bone and the blinding, throbbing pain of a headache. I gasp, a real, lung-filling gasp. And the air tastes stale, tinged with the scent of lavender-scented laundry detergent and teenage angst. My own. I crack my eyes open. The ceiling is a familiar swirl of plaster, decorated with a smattering of glow-in-the-dark stars I haven't bothered to take down. My posters are on the wall, faded prints of Escoffier and Julia Child next to a moody indie band. I'm in my childhood bed. I throw off the comforter and stumble to the full-length mirror leaning against the wall. The face staring back is mine, but not. It's me at 16. The annoying baby fat still clings to my cheeks, my hair is an untamable mess, and a smattering of acne dots my chin. There is no trace of the confident 24-year-old chef I became. There is no burn scar on my thumb, not yet. But the eyes are mine. They're old, ancient with a fury that doesn't belong in this young face. There's no time for an identity crisis. The memory of Elena's triumphant face is seared into my brain. The clock is ticking. My first life was stolen because I was too slow, too trusting, too methodical. This time, I move first. My fingers, small and clumsy in this new old body, find my phone on the nightstand. I scroll through contacts until I find his name. Marcus. My business partner. My best friend. The one who believed in me before anyone else. In my first life, it took me years to convince him, to save up, to build the business plan for the velvet spoon. I don't have years. I have hours. I press the call button, my heart hammering against my ribs. He answers on the third ring, his voice groggy. Maya, it's 7 in the morning on a Saturday. Everything okay? The velvet spoon concept is happening, I say, my voice coming out higher pitched, younger, but the command is there. But we start tomorrow. There's a long silence on the other end. I can picture him perfectly, running a hand through his perpetually messy blonde hair, his brow furrowed in confusion. Maya, you're supposed to be in high school. Did you have another fight with your parents? Are you planning on running away to culinary school again? No. And you're supposed to trust me when I say Elena will steal everything if we wait. The words taste like prophecy and poison. Elena, he scoffs, but it's a gentle sound. Your sister is busy planning her marketing degree. The most she's ever stolen is your last slice of pizza. What is this really about? This is the hard part. How do I explain a premonition? A memory of a future that hasn't happened yet? I can't. I have to gamble on the trust we built, a trust that, for him, is still in its infancy. Marcus, listen to me. I know this sounds crazy. I can't explain it all right now. But something happened, and it woke me up. All the plans we made, all the ideas we had for the future is now, today. Do you still have that money? The joint fund we started. I hold my breath. We'd started it 2 years ago in this timeline, a small account seeded with our savings from part-time jobs. My contribution was from washing dishes at a greasy spoon. His was from tutoring entitled rich kids. It was our dream fund. He hesitates. Yeah, I have it. I've been adding to it, actually. For when you finish school. I've just been sitting on it, waiting for your teenage rebellion phase to pass. Relief washes over me, so potent it makes my knees weak. It passed, I say. It passed in a fiery explosion. How much is in it? About 20 grand. Maya, that's not enough to... It's enough to start, I cut him off. It's enough for a lease deposit and a first month's rent. I know the perfect place, the old warehouse district down by the river. It's empty. We can get it for cheap. A warehouse? I thought we wanted something chic downtown. Trust me, this is better. Mobile, flexible, a ghost kitchen before the term even becomes trendy. A food truck empire. The ideas are downloading into my brain, fast and furious, a roadmap from a future I've already lived. Then a new thought strikes me, a cold spike of dread. My mother's voice drifts up the stairs. Elena, honey, are you ready for tonight? The Jacksons are so excited to hear about your new fusion concept. Tonight. Of course. In my first life, that dinner was the beginning of the end. Elena had experimented with a few of my developing recipes, wowing our parents' wealthy friends. One of them, a prominent restaurant investor, took her under his wing. She used my food to build her connections, laying the groundwork for her theft brick by brick. I grip the phone tighter. Marcus, I have to go. I have a new deadline. I need that lease signed in 6 hours. 6 hours? Maya, that's impossible. Watch me, I say, and hang up. I stare at the 16-year-old girl in the mirror, at the fire in her ancient eyes. Elena's already making her move. She thinks she has all the time in the world. She has no idea I'm playing the game from the finish line. She might have stolen my first life, but I'll be damned if she gets this one too. The warehouse district smells of damp concrete, river water, and forgotten industry. It's a ghost town of brick and corrugated steel, a place most people in our pristine suburb avoid. But I see it for what it is. A blank canvas. Low overhead, endless parking, and 0 foot traffic, which is perfect. We don't need foot traffic. We're bringing the food to them. Marcus is waiting for me, leaning against his beat-up Honda, looking deeply skeptical. He's holding a manila folder with the lease documents he somehow managed to get from a commercial realtor buddy on a Saturday morning. He's a good friend. In my first life, he was the only one who showed up to my funeral. "You're sure about this, Maya?" he asks, gesturing to the hulking, graffiti-covered building behind him. "It looks like a place you get murdered in a horror movie." "It's perfect," I say, my eyes tracing the clean lines beneath the grime. Big bay doors for a truck, enough space for 3 full prep stations, and the zoning is mixed use. We won't have any neighbors to complain about the noise or the smokers. He shakes his head, a small smile playing on his lips. "You've thought this through." "I've had a lot of time to think." "More than you know." Just as I reach for the lease documents, the purr of a luxury engine cuts through the silence. A sleek black Mercedes sedan glides to a stop a few feet away. The passenger door opens and Elena steps out, looking impossibly chic in a cream-colored pantsuit. She's not 16 anymore in my mind. She's the award-winning thief from the future, and my entire body tenses. 2 men in expensive suits get out after her, investors. My blood runs cold. How? How could she possibly know I'd be here? She smirks, a slow, condescending smile that I know all too well. "Little sister," she says, her voice dripping with false sweetness. "Playing restaurant is cute, but the adults are talking business now." She gestures grandly at the warehouse. "I was just showing Mr. Harrison and Mr. Lee the future site of my new culinary venture." Marcus looks from her to me, his confusion palpable. "Your venture? Maya and I were just—" Elena waves a dismissive hand. "Oh, I know. I heard you on the phone this morning. So dramatic." She turns her attention to the investors, her voice becoming smooth and professional. "As I was saying, gentlemen, this location offers a unique opportunity for a disruptive dining experience. The potential for growth is astronomical." Mr. Harrison, a portly man with a shiny bald head, eyes me up and down. "Your sister looks a little young to be in this line of work." "She's a hobbyist," Elena says with a laugh. "A talented one, to be sure, but she lacks a certain vision. These gentlemen understand vision, unlike certain teenagers who think a dream is a business plan." The rage is back, cold and sharp. "Vision?" I say, my voice steady despite the tremor in my hands. "You mean the vision I outlined in the business plan you photographed from my laptop last month?" Elena's smile falters for a fraction of a second. The investors shift. "I have no idea what you're talking about. My concepts are entirely my own." "Prove it, Maya," she challenges, her eyes flashing with anger. She thinks she has me cornered. She thinks I'm just a kid with a grudge. I take a step forward, the gravel crunching under my worn-out sneakers. The cold concrete of the warehouse seems to echo the sudden, chilling silence. "All right, I will." I lock eyes with her. "The secret ingredient in Abuela's mole. The real one. Tell them what it is." She pales. I can see the frantic search in her eyes, flipping through the pages of my stolen notebook in her mind. She knows the recipe she has. The one with the dark chocolate, the ancho chiles, the hint of cinnamon. It's a good recipe, it's just not the great one. It's a specific blend of Oaxacan chocolates," she stammers, guessing. I let out a short, sharp laugh. The investors look at her, then at me. Mr. Lee, the quieter of the two, raises an eyebrow. "Wrong," I say, my voice ringing with clarity in the dead air. "It's ground cricket flour for the umami, and only I know the ratio." The silence that follows is absolute. Elena stares at me, her mouth slightly agape. Marcus's eyes are wide with shock. Mr. Harrison and Mr. Lee exchange an uncomfortable glance. In that moment, the power dynamic has irrevocably shifted. Elena may have the poise of the suit and the investors, but I have the truth. And in the kitchen, truth is the sharpest knife. I see it in her eyes. She's not just angry anymore, she's scared. She underestimated me. She thought she was stealing from a child. She had no idea she was robbing a ghost. The air in the warehouse district is thick with unspoken accusations. Elena, for once in her life, is speechless. Her carefully constructed facade has cracked, and for the first time her investors are seeing the frantic uncertainty underneath. But I know my sister. Fear doesn't make her retreat, it makes her attack. That's absurd, she finally sputters, forcing a laugh that sounds like breaking glass. Cricket flower? She's being ridiculous. She's just trying to sabotage me because she's jealous. She turns to her investors, her voice pleading. I have the documentation. I have the entire development history of my recipes. And then she plays her trump card. She reaches into her expensive leather tote bag and pulls out a slim portfolio. She opens it with a flourish. Inside, nestled in protective plastic sleeves, are my original handwritten recipe cards. My heart lurches. The faded index cards covered in my cramped, intense scrawl, stained with chocolate and chili powder. There are notes in the margins, dates of experiments, temperature variations. My entire 3-year journey, right there in her hands. See, she says, her confidence surging back. Everything documented. I've been working on this for years. Years, she says it so easily. But seeing those cards, I realized the truth. This wasn't a recent, opportunistic theft. She'd been planning this for months, maybe longer, systematically copying my work, biding her time, waiting for the right moment to claim it as her own. The betrayal is a fresh wound, deeper and more painful than I thought possible. She didn't just steal my future, she was actively trying to erase my past. The investors, Harrison and Lee, look at the cards. They see a meticulous record. They see what Elena wants them to see, a young prodigy's work. They look at me, a 16-year-old in a hoodie, and they see a jealous sibling. The tide is turning back in her favor. I can feel it. But they don't have all the information I do. I close my eyes for a second, and the world fast forwards. It's a strange, dizzying sensation that comes with this second life, a glimpse of the immediate future, a ripple in the pond of time. 3 hours from now, the realtor's office, the scent of stale coffee and photocopier toner. I'm signing the lease for the warehouse, the pen scratching my name onto the paper. Marcus is beside me, a grin splitting his face. My phone buzzes. It's a news alert. Local investors scammed us in culinary Ponzi scheme. Elena's face, tear-streaked and furious, is the thumbnail image. Harrison and Lee have vanished, with her seed money. The vision fades, leaving me with a cold, hard certainty. Elena's plan is built on a foundation of lies, and it's about to collapse. But her investors going rogue doesn't help me. I can't build my dream on her failure. I have to build it on my own terms. The warehouse is a trap. It ties me to one place, makes me a sitting duck. My first life taught me that. This life is about speed, agility. I pivot, instantly. While Elena is still basking in the glow of her supposed victory, showing off my life's work, I pull out my phone. My fingers fly across the screen, a flurry of motion. A text to Marcus. Change of plans. Forget the warehouse. It's a liability. We're going mobile first. Food truck empire instead of brick and mortar. Meet me at pre-owned provisions on Chester Ave in 20. We're buying a truck. He looks up from across the small, tense circle, his phone buzzing in his hand. He reads the message, his eyes widening. He looks at me, a question in his eyes. I give him a tiny, almost imperceptible nod. Trust me. To Elena and her doomed investors, I offer a shrug. You win, I say, my voice flat. The warehouse is yours. Have fun with it. Elena's smirk is triumphant. I knew you'd see reason, little sister. Stick to bake sales. She thinks she's won the war. She has no idea I've just changed the battlefield entirely. I turn and walk away, leaving her there with my stolen past in her hands. She can have the cards. She can have the warehouse. I'm taking the future. Marcus catches up to me at his car. Maya, what the hell was that? A food truck? We don't have a plan for a food truck. I do, I say, pulling open the passenger door. I have a plan for a 50-truck fleet, a national franchise, and a line of retail sauces that will put her little award to shame. But it starts today, with one truck. He stares at me, a mixture of awe and terror in his eyes. You're serious. I've never been more serious in my life, I say, or the last one. He shakes his head as he gets in the driver's seat. You're scaring me a little, Maya. Good, I reply, buckling my seatbelt. That means I'm doing it right. He starts the engine and we pull away, leaving Elena standing in front of her hollow victory. She can have the ghost of my old dream. I'm busy building a new one that moves at 60 miles an hour. The truck is a beast. A retired delivery van painted a hideous shade of beige with more miles on it than I can count. But the engine is solid. The kitchen space is workable, and the price is right. We buy it with cash from our dream fund. 2 hours later, it's at a 24-hour garage getting a custom vinyl wrap. The design is simple, elegant, and powerful, a deep, rich burgundy, the color of dried chiles, with elegant cream lettering that reads, Abuela's Kitchen. And below that, a simple tagline, the legacy you can taste. My legacy, not Elena's. Marcus works his magic, pulling strings I didn't know he had. He calls in favors from his father's construction company for a quick kitchen build-out. He gets our permits expedited through a cousin who works at the city clerk's office. Everything is moving at lightning speed, a whirlwind of logistics and frantic energy. This is what I was missing in my first life. I had the vision, but not the urgency. Now, I have both. By 5 o'clock, we're street legal, stocked, and ready to go. And I know exactly where our first stop will be. The address is seared in my memory, a sleek glass and steel office building downtown where Elena is meeting with Harrison and Lee to finalize their investment. We pull up to the curb directly in front of the main entrance. The street is bustling with the after-work crowd. I throw open the serving window, the smell of my real, authentic mole, crickets and all, wafting into the air. It's intoxicating. It's a siren song. We don't even have to call out. People just stop. They follow their noses, their faces a mixture of curiosity and hunger. A line forms in minutes. What is this? A woman in a business suit asks. Abuela's Kitchen, I say with a bright, confident smile. We're serving up some family recipes today. A little preview of our menu. First taste is on the house. I hand her a small cup of the mole, rich and dark, served over a piece of grilled chicken. She takes a bite. Her eyes widen. Oh my God, she says, her voice a reverent whisper. That's incredible. The line grows longer. The buzz gets louder. And then, just as I knew she would, Elena storms out of the building. Her face is a mask of pure fury. Harrison and Lee are trailing behind her, looking confused. What are you doing? She shrieks, her voice sharp enough to cut glass. This is my investor presentation. You can't just steal my presentation. I lean out of the truck window, my smile never wavering. Watch me, I say, my voice calm and clear, loud enough for everyone in line to hear. These are family recipes, Elena, not your intellectual property, and this family believes in sharing. She sputters, her face turning a blotchy red. I have documentation. I have proof that I developed these fusion techniques. Do you? I ask, raising an eyebrow. Because you have my documentation, which, coincidentally, I am now showing to your investors via livestream. I gesture to Marcus, who is standing off to the side, holding his phone up. On the screen, a split view shows my face and a series of scanned documents. My original notebooks, my abuela's journal, all with clear, dated entries that predate Elena's development by years. Marcus, I say, my voice still light, tell them what else you found. Marcus grins. Happy to. You see, gentlemen, he says, addressing the bewildered investors. Elena has been secretly filming Maya's cooking sessions for the past year. She told our parents she was just trying to learn family traditions. But the timestamps on the video files are very interesting. They prove that every single one of her original concepts was cooked by Maya first. He airdrops the video files directly to Harrison and Lee's phones. They watch, their faces growing grimmer with each passing second. They see me in my own kitchen, creating the very dishes Elena just tried to sell them as her own. The evidence is irrefutable. It's a digital smoking gun. Elena looks like she's been struck by lightning. The board meeting she was supposed to have in 20 minutes is now in execution. Her financing, her reputation, her entire stolen dream, it's all disappearing in a puff of smoke and the scent of my mole. Social media is already exploding. Someone in line started tweeting and the hashtag is catching fire. #RecipeThief. Elena looks at me, her eyes filled with a toxic mix of hatred and disbelief. I'll ruin you, she hisses. I just smile and hand another free sample to a new customer. You can't ruin something you can't catch, sis. She stands there, defeated, as her investors turn their backs on her and walk away without a word. The dream is over. Her dream, anyway. Mine is just getting started. The finale of the Food Network's Rising Star Chef is exactly as chaotic and overwrought as I remembered. Bright lights, frantic camera crews, and the manufactured tension that makes for good television. In my first life, I watched this episode from my hospital bed, a morphine haze dulling the sharp edges of my despair as some other talented young chef won the title. This time, I'm standing center stage, a crisp white apron tied around my waist, the heat of the set lights on my face. And across from me, looking pale and venomous, is Elena. After the food truck fiasco, she'd spun a wild tale of sibling rivalry and corporate espionage, somehow managing to talk her way into the competition as a last-minute replacement. She painted herself as the victim, the professionally trained chef whose naive little sister was trying to ride her coattails. The network, smelling drama, ate it up. They billed it as a sister versus sister culinary showdown. They had no idea it was a battlefield for a stolen soul. Our prep stations are identical. Our menus, by the network's dramatic decree, are also identical. We are both tasked with creating a 3-course meal based on our shared family heritage. My menu is a celebration. Hers is a confession. "You shouldn't be here, Maya," she snarls under her breath as the host, a celebrity chef with blindingly white teeth, introduces us. "You're 16. This is my career launch, not your little hobby project." "Funny," I murmur back, my hands deftly chopping cilantro. Because Chef Rodriguez, one of the judges, remembers teaching these exact knife techniques to me at her summer culinary camp when I was 12. I glance over at the judges' table. Chef Ana Rodriguez, a legend in the culinary world, my first real mentor, gives me a small, encouraging smile. She remembers. In this life, I made sure of it. I'd found an old photo of us at the camp and sent it to her last week, jogging her memory. Elena's hands falter over her sea bass. "She's lying," she says, a little too loudly. A camera swings in her direction. "She's always been jealous of my culinary school training. She's just a copycat." The host raises an eyebrow. "Strong words, Elena, but the proof is in the pudding, as they say. Or, in this case, the cochinita pibil." I keep my cool, moving with an economy of motion that feels both foreign and familiar in this younger body. My muscle memory is from a future she can't comprehend. "Then explain," I say calmly, not looking up from my station. "Why your signature knife work, the one you supposedly learned at the Culinary Institute, perfectly matches the practice videos I posted on my private food blog back in 2019. "Those videos could be doctored," she retorts, her voice rising in panic. "Could be," I concede, finally looking at her, my eyes cold and steady. "But the burn scar on my thumb from perfecting the caramel tempering technique for your original flan recipe isn't doctored." I hold up my right thumb to the nearest camera. The scar is small, a silvery white mark against my skin. It's a permanent record of a mistake I made, a lesson I learned. A lesson she never had to. It's the one piece of evidence that exists on my body in this timeline, a phantom pain from a future she stole. The judges lean forward, whispering amongst themselves. Elena stares at my thumb, her face ashen. She has no comeback. There is no lie that can erase a physical fact. The final hour of the competition is a blur of searing, sautéing, and plating. My hands move on autopilot, crafting the dishes that are as much a part of me as my own heartbeat. Elena, on the other hand, is a mess. She's flustered, her movements jerky and uncertain. She tries to replicate the mole, but she gets the ratios wrong. It's too bitter. She tries to temper the caramel for the flan, but burns it twice. Without my notebooks, without my videos, without me to steal from in real time, she is lost. She's a performer who forgot her lines because she never wrote the script. As we present our final dishes, the contrast is stark. My plates are clean, confident, vibrant. Hers are sloppy, hesitant, a pale imitation. Chef Rodriguez takes a bite of my mole. Her eyes close and a slow smile spreads across her face. "There is a story in this food," she says, her voice resonating with authority. "There is history and love and a deep, deep understanding of the ingredients. This is soul." She then tastes Elena's. Her expression is unreadable. And this, she says, setting her fork down gently, is a memory of soul. Just then, a commotion erupts from the side of the studio. A man in a suit is speaking frantically into his phone. I recognize him. It's one of the other investors Elena had been courting, the ones who replaced Harrison and Lee. He's shaking his head, his face grim. He catches Elena's eye and mouths two words. We're out. Her last hope, publicly withdrawing their support on national television. The final domino has fallen. Elena crumbles, not with a bang, but with a quiet, defeated slump of her shoulders. She knows she's lost. Not just the competition, but everything. Chef Rodriguez stands. The decision is unanimous, she announces, her eyes finding mine. The winner of the $50,000 startup grant and the title of Rising Star Chef is Maya. The studio erupts in applause. Confetti rains down, but I barely notice. I'm looking at Chef Rodriguez. She's not just looking at me with professional approval. There's something else in her eyes, an idea. And Maya, she adds, her voice cutting through the noise, when you're ready to expand Abuela's Kitchen beyond food trucks, you call me. I think we have the makings of a franchise here. I smile, a real, genuine smile. This victory is sweeter than any award. It's not just about getting my recipes back. It's about reclaiming my future. A future that is suddenly, dazzlingly, bigger than I ever could have dreamed. The sting of her final defeat is still fresh when Elena finds the letter. I left it for her, tucked inside an old cookbook in her room. It's my acceptance letter to the Culinary Institute of America, the top-tier, world-renowned school she always lorded over me. The postmark is crisp and clear. It's dated 3 years before she even submitted her application. In my first life, I'd deferred my admission, wanting to get the velvet spoon off the ground first. It was a choice that cost me everything. In this life, it's the final, quiet checkmate. I watch from the doorway as she pulls it out. I see her read it, her shoulders slumping as the last bit of her self-deception evaporates. I was never in her shadow. She was desperately trying to stand in my light. 6 months later, the world has changed. The name Abuela's Kitchen is on the lips of every foodie in the tri-state area. We have 12 trucks, each a gleaming burgundy beacon of culinary success, operating in 3 different states. We are a phenomenon. The lines are legendary, the social media buzz is relentless, and the profits are staggering. We're outgrowing the food truck model faster than I can plan for it. Chef Rodriguez's franchise offer is looking more and more like an inevitability. And Elena is my sous chef. She works the line in our main commissary kitchen, the very warehouse we once fought over. She's quiet now, humbled. The arrogance has been stripped away, replaced by a genuine desire to learn. She's meticulous, she's focused, and for the first time, she's creating, not copying. She's finally learning the recipes honestly, feeling the rhythm of the kitchen in her own bones. Sometimes I catch her watching me during a busy service, a strange look on her face, a mixture of resentment, awe, and something that looks a lot like respect. She'll never know the truth. She'll never know I had to live my life twice to get here, that my victory was born from the ashes of a future she burned to the ground. She thinks this is a story of sibling rivalry. She has no idea it's a ghost story. Tonight, after a grueling 12-hour shift, we're sharing a staff meal, just the two of us, too tired to speak. She plates a new dish she's been working on, a deconstructed chile relleno with a smoked cashew cream. It's innovative, it's bold, it's all hers. I take a bite. It's delicious. It's good, Elena, I say, and I mean it. A small, genuine smile touches her lips. It's the first one I've seen in months. Thanks, chef. Watching her find her own path, her own flavor, her own pride, it tastes sweeter than any revenge. This joint success, this fragile peace we've built, is a better victory than the one I had originally plotted from beyond the grave. I smile, tasting the complex flavors of my second chance, already plotting the next phase of our franchise domination. The future is a banquet, and I'm ready to feast. Everything seems perfect. But as I watch Elena clean her station, a flicker of unease, a phantom echo from my first life, brushes against my soul. I glance at my phone and see a new email from Marcus. The subject line is urgent, partnership restructuring. A cold knot tightens in my stomach. The betrayal I thought I'd outrun is still hunting me. It just has a different face this time. The next battle is already beginning, but that's a problem for tomorrow. Tonight, I have a new recipe to approve.